9 blind spots to look out for. The blind leading the blind. How the blind leading the blind can help us to supersize and grow our business. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. These are actually my glasses, and I feel uniquely qualified to talk about this particular idiom because since 2019, I have been legally blind. I've had vision challenges for the majority of my life, probably since I was 11, and discovered that everything didn't look fuzzy the way I thought it did. It was actually that my vision was terrible. And over the years, I had some health challenges that attacked my eyes. And finally, by 2019, 2018, it was really getting bad. 2016, 17, 18. But by 2019, it had gotten to the point where it was defined as legally blind. Now, I can see, I have some vision. I've just got very, very low, very, very bad vision. And so when I think about this idiom, this expression, the blind leading the blind, sometimes I feel like it's true for me. Now, this actually is an idiom, an expression that comes from the Bible, the New Testament, Matthew 15:14. And it talks about leave them alone because they're blind leaders of the blind, and that something about the blind they'll fall into a ditch. And so you don't have to worry about them because they're going to fall in a ditch anyway. They're going to fail anyway. So you don't have to worry about, I like to think you don't have to worry about the competition, because if you're minding your own business and doing the things that are right for you and the people that you serve, you don't have to worry about the other people because you're only worried about the people that you're serving. Everybody else can do their own thing, and it doesn't matter really what they do, because often they are the blind leading the blind. And this led me to looking for, well, what are some of the most common blind spots that we as business owners and leaders have? And if I know what those are, then I know what to avoid. I know what to look out for so that I don't fall into that ditch, the ditch of making more mistakes than I need to as I'm growing and supersizing my business. So let's go through a list of 9. I'm just going to share 9 today. Is that an all-inclusive list? Of course not. Chances are you've stumbled on a few of your own blind spots that you've had to awaken, clean off your glasses. I actually cleaned off my glasses before I did this today. A lot of times, people that I'm around, they'll just start laughing. They're like, your glasses are so dirty. How can you see it? I'm like, I can't see anyway. So what difference does it make? But I did actually try to clean them up a little so they wouldn't look so weird and fingerprinty for this particular video. Now, number 1 way that leaders or business owners or people in general have blind spots. One of the things they have blind spots about is showing appreciation. Some people don't have the ability to thank or be grateful for or show appreciation to anyone or anything in their life. That is a huge blind spot. Number 2, admitting when you're wrong. A lot of leaders and business owners and egos get in the way. And I will admit, I have been guilty of many of these in the past. I like to think that I'm improving and getting better, and they don't impact me so much now, but I'm sure that other people would tell me, yeah, you still have a problem with this. And that's all right. I want to know that so that I can continually improve and get better and remove my own blind spots, right? So admitting we're wrong is a blind spot for many. Showing appreciation is a blind spot for many. Truly listening, and boy, have I been guilty of this one. Truly listening to other people is a huge blind spot for leaders and business owners. If we're not listening to our people, if we're not listening to our customers, if we're not listening to the world around us, how on earth can we serve people at the highest level as we're building and growing and supersizing our business? Number 4, being honest with ourselves and other people. We can look around, and we don't have to look very far these days, and probably ever, where we can see people being totally dishonest, at least diluting themselves and not being honest with themselves, as well as manipulating and being dishonest with other people. Just go online to any business growth or any business related or any marketing site, and you will see so much, what do I want to call it? Puffing. It's called puffing in the real estate industry. So much puffing and manipulation of the way things are described. If you've ever read real estate listings, you know what I'm talking about. They find the most amazing way to describe something, and then you go look at the house, and it's an absolute dump, right? But you'd think it was a mansion from the way it was described in the MLS listing or in some other listing. Now there's gazillion sites that list properties for sale or list real estate. So don't be a puffer, be honest with yourself and with other people. A quick intermission here. And a way to know how you're doing and how you rate in any of these areas and to get a better picture of yourself is to do one of the personality profiles and tests. It'll help you get along with other people as well as understand yourself better. Things like the DISC analysis. It's like the SWOT analysis. I know I've talked about SWOT analysis before, but we don't just do SWOT analysis on our business. We do SWOT analysis and personal reviews of ourselves and our own abilities and characteristics so that we can identify our blind spots and see if they are having a negative impact on our business or if we are becoming a bottleneck or a roadblock in our business. Because guess what? Almost every stage of growth, if we look at and are being really honest with ourselves, the biggest roadblock, the biggest bottleneck is usually us as we're building and supersizing your brand business. So back to our list of possible blind spots. I think we're on number 5. I'm not positive. 5, spending time on too much time, and I've been very guilty of this, too much time on operational things and not enough time strategically thinking and planning out for the business. So for example, being involved and working in the business instead of working on the business. That's what this reminds me of. Number 6, relying on our own opinion too much. Do you ever think that your way of looking at things is the only way and the best way of looking at things in every situation? If you do, you might have a little bit of a blind spot on that. Or you're not surrounding yourself with the right people. I make a habit of, and most of the super successful people I know make a habit of this as well, surround yourself with people that are so much smarter than you that a lot of times you're like, oh my God, I feel like I'm the dumbest person in the room when it's dealing with specific topics and things. My job as a CEO and as a leader of my own business and growing and supersizing that business is to bring all the pieces together, right? And make sure that all the resources, all the best resources are in the right places to create what it is that we all want together. It's not for me to be the smartest or the most egotistical or the best leader or anything in the room. It's for me to be the best coordinator and the best facilitator and the best server of all the people that I'm bringing together in order to create what it is that we want and to supersize our business. So do you rely only on your opinion, or do you think that your way is the only right way and the best way and that you have to do everything yourself? I may or may not have fallen into that trap years ago. Our inability to I have to use my magnifying glass. Our inability to separate and balance the what with the how. Sometimes, and I like to add the who here, because sometimes the what and the how and the who, sometimes the what and the how can be solved by getting the right who involved, right? By getting the right people, the right resources involved, by realizing that we don't have to do everything ourselves. And so sometimes we can outsource aspects of our business as we're growing. Sometimes we can automate aspects of our business. Not sometimes, we have to do that in order to supersize and grow our business. Relying on assumptions versus measuring and tracking and following the key performance indicators that are important for our business, right? If we rely on assumptions and we don't do our research, we don't do our homework, we don't do any investigating, we're going to get burnt. I guarantee every time I've ever gotten burnt in business, it's because I shortened the investigation or the research phase of the decision-making process. And that doesn't mean that you don't do that. Sometimes you have to make decisions quickly. One of the ways we supersize and grow our business is to be able to be more agile and make decisions faster and move more quickly than other people. But if we rely only on assumptions, and our assumptions are almost always wrong, right? If we assume anything, what does that do? It makes an ass out of you and me. One of my favorite sayings or favorite lessons learned from when I was, just a teenager. I think my dad probably taught that to us girls when we were little, just like the no such thing as can't. It's really important that we actually do some homework, do some research, not take everything on face value, and certainly not take and assume that something is a certain way without asking questions or looking into it at all. And finally, overvaluing how we've done things in the past. This is one of my most dreaded, and I'm sure I actually behave this way sometimes, but I try really hard not to, because I've seen how damaging it can be in corporate America and in businesses as a whole. If we rely on, hey, we did it this way and we never change it, we just always keep doing it this way, we're going to be in trouble, because the world around us is always changing. So love to know if you have any of these blind spots. Like I said, I probably suffered from the majority of them at some time in my life. And I'm sure they rear their ugly head in my life sometimes as well still. But I continue to be on the lookout for them. And I invite you to be on the lookout for them too, because our blind spots have the ability to take us out of the game even faster than things like the competition or the environment. Maybe the only exception to that would be the COVID pandemic. That seemed to have taken millions of businesses and business owners out of the game, and that makes me very sad. All right, if I can help you anyway, ask. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow for another spiritual well-being related idiom for the month of April. Have an awesome day. Bye.